All right, here we go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Last week we had a bit of a snack, so there was no streams, mainly due to something in the Tuesday that I had. It was basically a private live thing, and Thursday was an issue with the ISP stuff. So here we are, basically where we stopped at the previous stream. We were modeling this bench and the table that we're going to be using in our scene. So what I did is I just went out and basically finished up the low poly, just like backing it up together, baking up all the textures in Substance, which is more or less what we did on the last stream, so you haven't missed much. The only thing that I did add is, let me just close this. I did try and import it into Unreal, and I can see that this model looks kind of okay, because once we do the baking of the lights and everything, this thing is going to look really, really better for lack of words. All right, so now I'm gonna take both of these models and get them back into our scene with the bar. And I would like to continue actually working on the bar scene. See this time? All right, so what I'm gonna do is isolate. Now I'm gonna hide up as soon as I find the explorer. There we go. All right, so hide the low poly and the high poly, and let me just check how. Okay, a million. I don't know. 1 million. Let's just quickly go in and clean this thing up because I want to prep it up for export. Yeah, that's why it's so as it is 400,000, way too much again. So just remove the turbo smooths. I'm going to be using these guys as actually just as the placeholders for now, which, come to think of it, I could probably use the low poly version of it as well. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to prep this thing. So this is fine. Let me just check really quickly about this one. 60,000. Now this can work. Hey man, what up? So export selected. Now let me go ahead and put this thing on a place where I can actually find it later on. Switch folder for ideas, nautical bar, exports, and call this SM table H. You are undefined. There we go. So save this thing. Smoothing is fine, turbo smooth fine. Okay. Hey everybody. Don't mind me not saying hi to everybody, just like trying not to screw up something when I'm doing the exports. So low poly. Oh, hey, what the hell? Low poly. There we go. I'm just gonna take Q and export Q. Export selected. Go to ID this nautical bar. Export SM and you are undefined. Save. Okay. All right. So basically, once I got both of these guys out of the way, what I want to do next is open up my old scene. Oh, what the hell did I just click? No. Go to Come to think of it. Oh, wait a second. Music is a bit loud. There we go. All right, so the Twitch scene container box tutorial 15. And then save this thing. All right. So basically, this is our at least how our scene looked like the last time we were playing around with it, which was a long time ago. Yeah. Last week, like I said at the start of this stream, there were some issues. First was in the Tuesday, it was a private affair thing, so I wasn't able to be around. And on Thursday, it was about 5 minutes before the stream ended. My ISP decided it would be a great idea if my internet went out, and I had no internet for the next 3 hours. Anyways, now we're back. So let's see how we can use what we have here. So first thing I'm going to do is prep a folder for this. I'm actually going to call this alchemy. What is seating? So in the balcony seating. No, we're not doing this. No. Move this screen. All right. So now I want to import the two elements that I exported out. So just find them, not bar exports, and that was the SM bench and table. Hey Jeff, what up? So click OK. Let's see where this thing is going to be placed. Yep, this is great. Now import the table UR. Hey Shinoda, what up? What the hell is this? Why is... Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna delete this. What the hell? Alright, let me re-import that thing and see what happens. So why did that thing just import like that? Okay, so I guess this thing alright, okay. Let's see. I probably screwed up something on the export for the table, which will mean just one thing: reset export on everything. What the hell? If this thing is black, this means that this thing has flipped normals. Really? Let's see. Alright, so yeah, damn it. Okay. So flip. Flip. Everything's fine now. So right click, convert to minimal poly. You know what, since this is going to be just a placeholder for now, later on I'm going to be replacing this thing with the proper asset. So for now, center, move down, move it to 0, 0, 0. There we go. And now export this thing. Export selected, and call this the SM table Unreal. Going to replace it, yes. Jeff, we're probably gonna get to that point again in this stream, so I think you will get to see it. Okay, so I'm back to our thing. Oh, by the way, at the start of the stream, I actually did show how this thing looks inside Unreal. There we go, that's fine. Let me just keep that thing open so you guys can actually see it. And when I say that thing, I mean the actual seating, not the whole thing, not the whole bar. So now let's see. It's fine. Okay, so let's go and import that thing again. SM bench. All right, so the bench is just fine. Put it here, so center to center. And for some reason, it's, there we go. That's fine, one there. One more import for the table. Where's the table? What the actual... Seriously? Where's that table? Alright, okay, alright. What the? What is happening? Poly. Now everything is fine. Why is everything fine now? This thing is haunted. Now the goddamn normals are not flipped. So reset. And now they're flipped. Okay. And now they're screwed. What? Dude, what the hell is going on? Now Max is gonna crash, is it? No. It's one of those things that Max loves to do, and that is create things that I have no idea why they're happening, but they're happening, so yeah. Okay, let's try it one more time. Just gonna go ahead, attach everything as one, call it table. Okay. Yeah, good. It's already converted. Selected, send table. So, yes, I want to replace it. Keep everything single. Find triggers. Preserve. Fine. That's okay. Back to container box. Don't save. And now if I try to import this thing and it doesn't work, I'm gonna be super pissed. So, bench, table, unrefined. Come on, come in, let's run. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now go to there. Go to here. And there we go. So when we have that thing, import the bench as well. There we go. Get the bench here. Center. Rotate. Pull it back. Yeah, I kind of did not get this thing out of the zero. All right. Oh, no. All right, so you're gonna go up here. And this is better now. All right, so we have the seating for this thing. Make it an instance so we don't clog up the entire scene. There we go. Move it backwards to about there. Remove that thing. Those three. 3. So let's see if this thing is gonna fit. Yeah, almost fits. So let's just get it flush with the back here, and we can move this thing a bit to this side, flush with this wall, and I think there's gonna be just a tiny bit space left over to move. Yeah. There we go. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna work like this. So one, let's just remove those placeholders. Now, make some more instances of this thing. Two more instances, like that. Although, come to think of it, this is gonna be the entrance, so it's probably a good idea to get this seating out of the way. All right, so we basically got our balcony with the actual assets that we prepped up in the previous. So good on us for now. Oh, damn it. Wait a second. I did not create a separate. Just select everything and put them on the same layer. Alright, so take this thing and again create a new layer. And call this no, I'm not going to be doing all of them individually or separately as unwrap. Basically, this is how the thing looks like. Just remove this thing. Here is it inside Unreal when it's pressed in. So once we get, I'm not going to say once, but if we get to the point where I put everything in Unreal, it's really going to be easy. Just put it in here, just get the setting. It's going to be a lot faster than doing this thing in Max, because Unreal is just clicking and dragging stuff to anywhere you want. Put it in the thing, and voila, you have your seating area all fixed up. Everything's fine. And with proper lighting, this thing would be even better, because this is just with the regular sky sphere. You drop in any sort of a light in here. One light here, this is going to give us a different look, and we'll see. If we get to this point where we go inside Unreal and do everything inside Unreal, that's going to be interesting. But for now, yeah, this thing is okay. Don't say this. Now, the other thing that I'm missing here for this part is something to cover up this area. So we're gonna need something to have here. Initially, what I had in mind was something like a sail that would go from up here to down here, but then I came to the actual dot train that would not be very practical. So what I want to do is I want to take what I already have here. So these guys, get one more to go across from here, something like so. Let's just be punctual and not screw this thing up. So snap that edge to this side, and there we go. And now for this one, snap it. Oh no, wait a second. Make this unique so it's not screwing up that thing. There you go, like that. Okay, so we have a frame, but I guess we might have to. Oh no, that's actually right. This thing is sticking out a bit. Make it flush there. Should probably put something else to cover up that corner, like a coupling or something, but that's a minor detail. We'll fix it later. All right, so wait, how do you know what do you need Unreal in this? Dude, this is, I don't need Unreal in this. This is, the Unreal part came because somebody was being pricked in the chat, and he threw in the idea of when we're finally finished with this entire project, to get it inside Unreal so we can walk around it and interact with stuff and stuff like that. So if I end up being an idiot and actually doing that whole thing, this is gonna take a very, very long time, but we'll see. Maybe I end up doing that thing as well. So we're, in that case, I got different ideas as to where we can get this entire project to go to. Anyways, yeah, I can use this thing, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave it as it is right now. So now what I want to do is I want to have something come from this side to this side, but instead of having just one sheet, I want to basically make it into a couple of different pieces. So for that, I'm actually going to take this thing and copy it all over to this side one more time. Let's just see. Okay, this is actually quite well because it can be used as a frame. And I can take this thing, put it to this side. And now we actually have the frame for the top. Just move it to where actually it's gonna meet that thing. All right, so that's fine. All right, so now let's make one more, or actually two more. So one over here. As copies, actually. You know what? Just get this thing as a copy. Make it the right size. Right size being at about here. And that size is fine. And just one more version here. If I actually do this thing without measuring the size, I'm gonna have to make 3 different. Okay, all right. Scrap that idea. And what the hell did I just do? Oh snap! Yeah, that was an instance. Huh. All right, so now it's no longer an instance. So make this thing here and make 2 instances of it. Nah, way too much. Oh, no. Alright. Screw it. Just make it like this. Make this unique. And these two can still stay an instance of each other. Why is this last thing stay as a unique? Okay. Move there. Move in here. Okay, so we have the frame for this thing. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take this thing and actually export it so I can use it as an actual avatar. So these guys are fine. So isolate and just see how they look like. All right. Okay, save. Hopefully, actually, I better save as a different name because if this thing crashes and gets the scene corrupted, I'm gonna be pissed. Which scene go to 16? The 16 iterations. Try to what now, Shinoda? Oh, well, let me open up the Discord. I haven't opened Discord in a week. That's a shitty thing on my behalf. So let's see. Come on. Discord, open up. All right, but before I do anything else, I'm just get this thing. And just do it like this. As a copy. Now select this thing, isolate, attach all of them together, and rectangle it only, and get this to 0. I don't want to get anything like plants into it, because remember, we're trying to make it into a boat-like structure. If I put anything like plants or like trees or ivy, it's going to look out of place. So for this, I'm going to go and try to do something down the road. Okay, so this can be an OBJ and call it frame. Give me a sec, somebody's knocking at the door. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. What the hell just happened? All right, so frame, avatar, save, export, done. Now let's open up our old friend, Marvelous Designer. And de-isolate, that is fine. Now let's see if this thing is going to look okay or not. When you have something selected, Alt and Q will get you to the point where it's isolated. Right click and end isolate, and you're out of isolation mode. Okay, avatar, no, so import OBJ, find my OBJ on the other side, desktop, the hell, OBJ, the frame avatar, import centimeters, load as avatar, okay. I hate this thing. And every time I get in, I really find how the hell to turn this thing off. Placement, close. Okay. Alright, so we have what we have in 3ds Max, so I can actually use this here to get the right size for. So let's try it. First of all, I want to try and get one of these to be in position so I can gauge the size of this thing, because what I didn't do is I did not measure it. So now I'm gonna have to like try and get this thing to fit in here. I should really upgrade to the last version of Marvelous, because they added some kick-ass options. select just that silly thing. Okay, that is fine. On this side, I want this thing to go a bit longer, like this, so it can kind of fall down. And now, since I don't have anything, Eric Lee, Alt and Q is a shortcut for, shortcut for turning off the isolation selection? I don't know. Alt Q is for isolating stuff. I've always been just like right click and end isolation. Now let's add in some of these. Pieces like this. And here's what I'm thinking with this thing. I want to get it so where it's the cloth is going to be falling on these things, but it will not fall through them because it's just going to hang a bit on them as they are. So now you'll get the idea as soon as I start finally getting this thing to work as I want it to work. Really? So, 1579. Oh, wow. Okay. Whatever. Just eyeball it wherever we want it. One of the interesting things about using Marvelous Designer is that it's always a very, very visual thing. You don't have to go into a lot of settings. You just have to like think about the logical progression of your model and how you want it to work. And once you get that thing, it's simply just going in and, for example, since I don't have actual geometry to hold this thing, I'm going to use these guys and freeze them in space. So now they're going to be used as actual collisions. And for this, I'm actually going to use the tack on option. So I'm going to tack this thing to, really? No. What the? Tack on avatar, Jesus. Okay, so from here to here, there we go. And from here to there. All right, first let's drop it down and see how this thing works. Since this is going to be a really big place or a really big model, it's going to take a bit of simulation time, but yeah. Once this thing falls down and gives us a bit of a weftness, it's gonna look better. Come to think of it, Marvelous Designer would be one of the worst programs to be having a live stream on, because with all the simulation and waiting and stuff, and just tugging and hoping that everything doesn't go wrong. And usually with Marvelous, something goes wrong, and then you have to go back and just hopefully this thing is gonna work out from the first. So let's try 105 shrinkage weft. Yeah, that shrinkage weft is gonna give us that nice look here. So come on, just settle down. Just straighten out so I can export you out as you are. There we go. Ah, no. Needs to flatten down. All right, I can work with this. As soon as this thing just stops. Probably should have reduced the particle distance before I started doing this, but whatever. Word of advice to anybody that's playing with Marvelous Designer is when you do stuff like this, before you start simulating stuff, just go in and increase the particle distance. It's going to give you faster results, especially when you're working with large-scale models like this one. So let me clean up the text. Actually, you know what? I don't clean up anything. I'm going to take this thing and export this thing. I'll just select it, call it balcony cover. All one. That's fine. Okay, all right, okay. Now just let it rest for just a second so I can get another version of this thing where it's a different pattern. Here, move. Okay. All right, so I can get this as an O2. Export. Over O2. Okay. Why I'm not using the cloth option in 3ds Max? I'm not using the 3ds Max option for cloth because that thing annoys the living crap out of me. It's slow. You don't get all of these nice folds that you would generally get when you get actual simulation for cloth. And I think that Marvelous Designer is doing this thing a lot faster. So yeah, that's why. So I want to save this. Now let's go in here, import, and import up the cover that we just exported from there. It's going to be put here, which is okay for now. Now I'm going to move this to a position where it's actually going to be, oh, where's, okay. Now it's going to be a bit of a hassle to get it to the right position because we did not use this frame, but we used an instance that was moved. Had we used this frame, this thing would have just snapped right into place. But it's not a big problem because honestly, this thing is really easy to place, and just go in here, select the soft selection, select all of these guys on the corner, and increase the fall off like that. Just move it more into position like that, so it's not clipping through our model. There we go. There you go. Move it down. Probably use the move brush as well here, which I think would be a bit faster, but it's going to be the same result, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. And one more. Okay, so that side is fine. We got that cover on here, and like Hyatt just said, the best thing about using Marvelous Designer is that whatever you do, it's always unwrapped. So if I put any material on it, like let's just let me take one of my textures, yeah, that one, and I apply it here. This, of course, this is going to be unwrapped because I did not click the Unify UVs when I was exporting from Marvelous. Amazing. But anyways, this is just, it's going to be really easy to get this thing unwrapped if I need to, because it's plain. But the thing is that once I'm finished with this, and if I decide to get it into Unreal, I'm gonna have to rework this thing, because there's no freaking way in hell that I'm gonna use this thing as 117,000 polygons. So I'm gonna have to simplify this thing before I get it anywhere near Unreal. So let's just do the same thing with the second cover that we exported. Cover 02. Object, center both of these together like that, move it to this side. Dude, it's not gonna work if, for example, if I just open up the unwrap UW and open up the U editor, you see this thing is placed basically at a very, very large scale. So if I want this thing to work, I actually do have a tutorial on this same issue. I think it was the last tutorial that I made, is how to fix with this issue. So I'm not going to be doing that right now, but yeah, there is that tutorial. Now let's try and get this thing on the other side. This time though, I'm going to be using the move brush. So you get to see both ways with the very, very subtle ways of moving with this, with the soft selection, and this thing with the brush. And just copy this thing one more time on this side. Making it easy to stand up. Cover 02. Cover 01. Cover 03. Alright, we're just slowly starting to get somewhere. Let's just give them all a different material. So the only thing that I'm missing is actually some sort of a, let's just get it like this, something to hold the actual geometry here. So cylinders, there's a bar. Because remember when we were in Marvel Designer, we use those planes as a collision, but in here we actually do have to put in some geometry to help us with that holding of the form. So now get one more there. All right, 2 instances. Get this thing to move back here. Move it up a bit. Oh, this might be a problem now. These are the different height. In hindsight, I should have just went out and export these guys with along with the actual plane. I'm not trying to whatever. It's already done. So isolate. Move it all the way up here. That's fine. It's still going through the thing. No, I'm not going to be playing around with the Pro Optimizer. I have a different way of doing the thing, but like I said, I did show you the way that I do it in the last. I think what was it? The last troll that I made. It covered. What did it cover? Yeah, the morphing of the knitted cover in 3ds Max. So in the second video of that tutorial, I showed exactly how I deal with stuff like this, and I'm probably going to do the same thing for this piece as well. So select these guys. I really do not like that color. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, since I haven't been using any materials so far, I'm going to remove the material. So material equal undefined, and give it a gray color like that. Actually, you know what? For this thing, since it's supposed to be, there we go, like white color. Okay, so we have a semi-decent cover for our top here. Just give it a dark color here for our balcony. So we have, like I said, a semi-decent balcony that can be used. So next thing that we probably should be focusing on is either the outside as to what sort of seating we would put out here. Like, are we going to be using the same seating that we have here and save some time? So let's work on that idea and see how this thing is going to look like if I put this thing on the bottom as well. Maybe as an instance. All right, go down. Oh yeah. So remove guys. And now, let's see how many of these can we fit in here. So one there, another one there. No. So 1, 2. Okay. All right, well, this is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. We'll see. I might use these as a separate outside seating, but that means I'm gonna have to find a way to put something in here to cover up this place in case of rain or whatever, but we'll see. Okay, first I'm gonna save because I don't want this thing to crash. Second thing is we're gonna have to start working on our elephant in the room, or namely the lack of an elephant in our room, because the second floor is near empty. So let's see what we can do about this, the bar walls. Okay, windows and doors, close this thing up. What is that? That's the, oh yeah, that's the whole thing. Okay. All right, so I know that usually I've said that I really do suck at getting ideas about the design for this thing. So I'm open up for suggestions. What should we do to this top floor? What do we want to have on this second floor and populate it with? Come on, I'm waiting for you guys to give me some ideas. Or better yet, instead of just giving me an idea, a link would be an amazing thing. If you can drop in any Pinterest images, that would be amazing as well. Who was it in the last stream that gave me the great ideas? You see, that's a really good question if I'm going to be importing everything to Unreal later, because if that thing happens, there's going to be a lot of assets to basically prep for Unreal, and I might do that. I might do it, but if I do it that way, I'm gonna make the streams live on Twitch and not on YouTube, because YouTube likes to take everything and just dump it straight on live to my channel, and I don't want to have a lot of streams. Oh yeah, Little Yashi gave me the ideas. I want to have YouTube just like drop everything on the YouTube channel, because I don't want to clog it up, because I've been really lagging behind with some of the ideas that I had for tutorials. But yeah, I want to bring out some tutorials on the YouTube channel, and I'm probably gonna keep the Twitch channel for the modeling, or basically the preparing for Unreal structure for this thing. But if we get to a point where something is more or less as an idea or as an issue to people as to they don't know how to do it, I can make it into a tutorial and bring it to YouTube. But anyways, it's probably going to be live, so yeah. You're going to see me do a lot of errors. You're going to see me how I get out of those errors, and it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Alright, so Lil Yashi is not here, and nobody else has any ideas. Amazing. What else am I missing here? McDermott is not here. Ah, damn it. Hey, what up, man? Looking for ideas as to what to put on the second floor. We're trying to put in something here, and probably put something in what's supposed to be a kitchen. I do. That's the thing. I can use this thing. I can use the same. Dude, it's a bar. It's like a nautical bar. Nobody comes dancing to a nautical bar unless you're a pirate. I can take these guys and just like place them around in here, but I want to get the second floor to be something more of a unique look. Because if I just do this, yeah, see that arcade cabinets, the pool tables, that was a good idea. It was dropped in the last stream. I actually like that idea. So we might do that as well. Let me just put something in here so it doesn't look like a really, really empty room. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, this, when I put it like this, it's gonna look like the second floor is just a bunch of tables with nothing entertaining about them, and that's a really crappy idea. I don't like it. You're sitting here on the first floor in these tables because the bar is around, you have people sitting up there, so it's gonna be okay. Oh, wait a second, I just deleted something I should have done. Damn it. Importing stuff with Chaos Group, yeah, they do have quick importer now that works great, but I still prefer when I go from Max to Unreal to use either Datasmith or, as they call it nowadays, Unreal Studio. Or, since this thing is going to be pretty much made out of elements, prep those elements and then export them out as individual assets. That way, we can just build everything that we need inside Unreal. All right. All right, so what I need to do is find an idea for the second floor and fix this thing with the stairs. Now, since I'm not going to be going on and trying to fix the issues with the design for the second floor all by myself on live stream, because that would be just me sitting in front of the screen going like this. This looks nice, this looks nice, this looks nice, this looks nice. Yeah, I don't like that idea. So instead, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be focusing on prepping some of the models for this thing. So we're probably going to start working on the stairs. Now for the stairs, let me just for the stairs, I think I actually had a pretty good idea from a few streams ago. Somebody had dropped in, yeah, something like this. I actually really like this idea, the whole thing with the weaved netting, because you don't want to just fold through on one side. So let's go ahead and try something like this. This would have been so much better if I had a certain plugin which my accessibility is revoked now. All right. Let's see what we can. Okay, so this can work. All right, so this can give us a nice start. And yeah, at least I can get that thing. So we have that. Yeah, the rails, that's fine. Yeah, actually this can work as well. Risers is fine. Alright, that's okay. Now offset with that I can deal with. But now comes the other thing, and that is oh wait. Oh, wasn't overall just it's fabulous. Oh hell no, not these this many. Riser. Riser 19. And I have to break this thing back a bit. No width, no. Where's the height? Yeah, there we go. Height should be about there. All right, I can deal with this. This is a nice starting point. Okay, edit poly on top of this. Now what is this? Can I select the risers? Can I do anything with this? No. What the hell then? What good is this thing? Oh, so it's viewport, thickness, angular. Yeah, this thing we can work with. So width-wise, let's try with 10. 10 by 2, that would work. All right, so if this thing is going to work, 10 by 2, rectangular form, 10 by 2, again, both sides. Isolate both of them, put an edit poly on top of this thing, edit poly on top of this thing, and attach them together. So now we can cut wherever that we need this thing to be cut. For example, first thing that I'm going to need this thing cut is going to be probably about here on this side. So let's go with the planar cut, slice plane, and move this thing into about here. And cut. Now get that thing off, both of these things off. Control backspace because we don't want to get that thing chopped off. Select this and delete. Gap this. It's a nice way to start. All right, so from here, here's another edge that I want to move. This time around, I'll get the edge flow, get it to about there. All right, now select this, delete. Holy crap, why is this thing tilted? Whatever, we'll fix it. That's a small tilt, no big issue. But here is a bigger issue, and that is the size of this thing. That should come all across here, yes. Yep, like that. And now the important thing, which would be to make this thing planar to where we need it to be. So delete that thing. And now select those, and those. Maybe that one. Delete and see what happens. Oh, no. Okay. Let's just make it so it stops, that edge stops there. So now we can just take the whole thing on this side and tell it to basically disappear. Just move it up front, make it planar on the Y, and cap it. There we go. Much better. So now we have a platform on which we can stand when we get here, and from here you can just go all the way down. That's fine. And all right, so in this case, we get those edges, move them on the edge, just about. Actually, you know what? Let's just snap it to the wall. There we go, like that. Delete, cap. For some reason, this thing is tilted. Remove the constraints. Definitely don't do it like that, but go to local. And of course, this thing will not rotate correctly. Okay. Have to deal with this issue then. Isolate. Oh yeah, this thing is tilting around here for some reason. Alright, so we got those two going on, so we just need to get the one on the bottom to be flush with that, and that should make this thing straight. Yep, more or less. Alright, whatever. It's a small issue to fix, but we'll get it done. Same thing on this side as well. Just don't want to do it right now because stuff like this is really not fun to watch. And for some reason, this thing here is, nah, it's actually okay. All right, we got that as a base for our stairs. We're going for something like this, so we just need some stringers behind around our. Wait a second. I think that. Let's save first, but I think that the U-type stairs should have that option as well. So when you're on them, oh, actually, you know what? Before I do anything else to this thing, I'll make a copy of this thing because if I change anything, all the edits I did to the edit poly is going to disappear. I don't want them to disappear, so I'm going to go to U-type stairs and stringers. light tower. What's a light tower? Is that a carriage? Oh yeah, there we go. These are called stringers then. So stringers, parameters. Here, just get the stringers. I have to model them from scratch. Clone to object. All right. I love it when I don't have to do something from scratch and I can just easily find a way to cheat. Now, the problem here is going to have to do a bit of work to clean up some of the stuff because I'm going to be needing that thing. Actually, I'm going to need that thing. It's going to be on top of this side here. And that only means that my actual like that. Two around there. All right. So we got this thing to hold the side, which is really not needed actually. Come to think of it, because hey. It's really not needed because we got these ropes here on this side to basically stop whoever is like walking here. They're too drunk, they don't fall through the hole there and hurt themselves. All right, so now another thing that I'm gonna have to do is fill in this gap here, and that gap can be filled in quite easy. Just need to add in one there. Connect those two. Connect those two. Oh, by the way, if anybody has ever had to model stairs, you know that one of the most annoying things to do is modeling these bastards. But if you have access to Rail Clone can do some amazing things really, really quickly. I used to have the access and the what was it called? The license, but it expired and I haven't had the need to basically get it again. So yeah, I have to do this thing the old manual way. Now extrude. We gotta do about there. Yeah. Now hopefully nobody's gonna be dumb enough to get their leg stuck in that small hole and hurt themselves. If they do, I'm gonna well, I'm not gonna do anything because these are gonna be all virtual people. But if this was somebody else's bar and some dumbass did that, they would be pissed. All right, so now first I'm gonna do this. I won't need it. So again, slice plane, 90 degrees. Right. And to about, oh no, this string is for the legs, so it's going to cover. So about here, I guess. Yep. Slice. And delete that thing. Get this thing. And select everything, give it a darker color. All right. This is a better starting point than what we had initially. I'm probably gonna have to make this thing have a platform here and another step, so you can actually step from here to the platform and then go up. Because like this, it looks doesn't look right. So let's actually, we do have a cut in here already, which is nice. It'll give me an idea as to where that thing should be, like that. Alright, get that thing. Oh no. Alright, so put it there. Connect those two and those two. Oh, no. Just those two on this side. Delete that. And get this thing to go all the way down, like that. And if I go ahead and delete both of these, and then bridge this together like that, I get more or less what I need. But now, before I do anything else, what I'm going to do is make it easier for me by doing this. Get one step outwards, so, and now I can delete this. Move this thing here, bridge, there, and make sure everything's welded together, like that. And now, with this thing, oh, damn it, move it there. Move it outwards and move it downwards. This way, now I just got my nice stepping stairs, and they're the same height as the rest of them, so it's really nice. So move it outwards, move it in like that. So bridge. Damn it, what the hell? Okay, nothing to tread about. It's a quick fix. So on simple connect, we'll give us that connection there, and it's going to give me a way to get here to here. In this case, not that size. So bridge. No, not before I bridge that thing. I'm gonna bridge these two. Actually, there's not much difference between, because I'm actually gonna have to come in here, just like that. Make that thing from the X there. Cut it there as well. Weld. Cap, and voila, I think we got this thing. There we go. Cap, so now I can bottom. We don't really care about geometry. And go from there to there. And of course, it's going to work because it's a different plane, but it's going to work now. Once we snap it, there and there, and we make this thing welded. And now it's the same plane, so we can cap it, and voila! We get this thing as a nice stepping stone. So we start from the bottom, we go up, all the way up, and we are on the second floor. Fine. I'm gonna need, actually I can use this thing for storage or whatever. We'll see. Cool. We got this thing halfway done. Okay, so I'm gonna save again as a new version. There we go. Okay, so here is what's left to do. We need to find something to put on this side, which is probably going to end up being the kitchen. We need to find a plan as to what to put on this side. I like the idea about the darts and the pool table and game or arcades or whatever, so we might actually do something like that. And then once everything here is done, it's just going to be like quickly fixing this thing up and then going into adding in a bit of paths for details and stuff that would be used to fill up the entire space. But all in all, I think that this project is progressing at a nice pace. Even with the screw up that I had from last week where I didn't stream, but I think that in a couple of more streams, we can actually wrap up this project. And then it's gonna be probably down to doing the actual materials, lighting and rendering and all that good stuff, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing that thing on live, or maybe I'm gonna just take a bit more time and put everything nice into one big master tutorial. We'll see how that thing goes. Anyways, I'm actually gonna give you guys 5 minutes to give me some ideas as to what you want to see on the second floor. And then I'm gonna end this stream like half an hour early today. But on Thursday, we're gonna continue with any ideas that you guys pitch in. So if there is anything that you would like to see how it's done, or maybe something that you are doing on your own projects but you're having issues with and could probably fit into our bar, now is the time. Tell me, what is it that you want me to put into this bar or this scene? What is it that you want to see how it's done? But you got 4 minutes left. Go for it. Oh, I actually just noticed that one of the things that I'm just like enjoying right now is a bunch of fishermen's friends. Yeah, so one more door for the outdoor seating. We can add a door here, I guess, which will mean that I'm gonna have to remove some of the tables. Oh, actually, you know what? That's a pretty good idea, because if I put a door in here, that would get rid of this table and this table. And if I remove just this table, since it's gonna be like a shitty idea to have like 4 tables here, I can take these tables, put them up here, and on this side here I can put additional seating that's basically made in a way that it's put on the wall. I think something like, let me see if I have the, yeah, something like this. You can put something like this. Hey, Zento. Or something even like this. That would be, ooh, wait a second. Yeah, see, something even down these ideas. So it's actually not a bad idea. Let me really quickly check my windows and doors. Do I have the width here? Oh, not copied. This is that thing, remove that thing, remove that thing. Now get the, where are the barbels? There we go, barbels. So for this, I would have to go in, make some additional cuts, and rename this. Door cuts. Got that thing in here, in there, and in there. Nope. Good. Let's test this thing out and see how this thing looks from the inside. I'm gonna have to give it some sort of a frame here. The door alone is not enough. Use this cheat and make it thicker. Grab the scale, and I don't have to do another door. Cool. Now I have another door from the back. Now this thing is too small. God damn it. Whatever. Of course it's. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Whoa. If I just scale that thing, I really need to make sure that this thing is unique before I do anything else, because if this thing is still sticking as yeah, make it unique. And now it's no, oh, of course it's make it unique. Because remember, when we copied this thing, we made it into an actual instance. So let's go ahead with the edit polys. Turbo smooth is fine. Smooth is fine. There you go. Okay. That's actually a really nice thing about the door, because from here we're gonna have a different door that's gonna go to the bathroom. Oh snap, we need to create a bathroom as well here on this side. I missed up on the comments. Nice work. Removing the tables and placing some couches. Couches. No, you do not place couches in anything that's resembling a bar, because you know that the first thing that's gonna happen is somebody's gonna puke on that couch. Professions that I've worked. I've pretty much worked as a freelancer. I've worked in a company. I've worked as a teacher. I've worked in ATS, university. I've held classes for 3ds Max. I've held classes for general 3D modeling, stuff like that. What do you normally use to determine the assets in real world scale? If I want to determine if my assets in a real world scale, I select my asset, I go over here, I go measure, and it gives me the dimensions. And then I check the dimensions and see where this thing can fit in. Even you can place washroom upper floor. We'll see, maybe. What else do I need? So if I will, actually, you know what? No, yeah, I'm gonna have to remove that thing. It's a sad thing, but whatever. This thing is gonna be a door, like this. And if I open it up on the inside, yeah. The tutorial about reducing the poly count is the last tutorial that I made. What was it called? It was something about, give me a sec, I'll tell you in a second. Last tutorial was called Modeling and Morphing the Knitted Cover in 3ds Max and Knowledge Designer. Check out the second video, and I think it was near the end of the video. I'm not sure when exactly, but yeah. Well, snap, I was supposed to end like 5 minutes ago, but I'm still here, so whatever. Yeah, but I actually do like the idea about getting some seating that's gonna be next to the wall. And I'm gonna have to go in here and actually do something for the wall. Yeah, I think right about the time that I was still teaching, I did do the HDRI tutorial. I've also given classes online to certain individuals. I've given some private classes, stuff like that. But yeah, mainly the main reason why I did that was I honestly do enjoy teaching. It's always funny to me, at least. And it's fun, not just funny, it's fun. Where you get to see people that are starting to learn something and they're full of questions. And sometimes they ask the damnedest questions. Like, they're gonna ask you a question about something so simple that you don't know it. So you have to go in and actually find how to do it. So it's a great way of like doing new stuff. One of the main reasons why I started off with this streaming idea was just so I can basically find a challenge in doing something that I haven't done previously. Because it's always easy to like basically go ahead and do stuff that you've done a million times. But when you're on live, people will drop in ideas, and many times those ideas are very, very unique. So it's fun. There is no situation in which Turbo Smooth can be exchanged with OpenSubdiv. It's a whole different way of like approaching the modeling phase. It's a different approach. They're both amazing tools. Oh snap! Here's a problem. Okay, we can fix that. The problem being that here we cannot put one of those. There we go. Go to the inside like that. Okay. More or less, I got that thing done. So what is this? Oh, there's some cuttings here for light. That's nice. Oh, that's not a cutting. Where is it? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, cool. Okay, so basically what we have here today is we finished up furnishing up the top side here. We added on some covers for our balcony. We took some of those seatings, we put them outside. We put another door here. We did a bit of work on the stairs, so we have a better stair condition here. And more or less, I think we can call this thing a wrap for today. I would like to thank everybody that was on the live stream. You guys rock. It's always a great thing and a great pleasure to do these streams when I know that there are people that are enjoying this. So I guess that would be it for today. And up until next stream. See y'all. Bye-bye.